Old Man Joe, like and subscribe. A friend of mine told me this story. Um, he lives in San Diego. He was starting to feel lightheaded a little bit, so he started speeding towards home to get some food or something to drink, because he's a type 1 diabetic. So he takes insulin. So he figured if he gets home and gets some orange juice to drink or something, his blood sugar be okay. It was going low. He said when he got in his garage, he turned around and looked. There were 6 cop cars behind him. So they started asking him, had he had anything to drink? He was like, no. He said, they were saying he was driving erratic. He said he wasn't doing that. He was just trying to get home to get something to drink or eat because his blood sugar was going low. So they wanted him to do a field sobriety test. He said no. They asked him for a to blow in the tube. Um, he said no. He wasn't going to do any of that. Um, so they told him he was under arrest. Um, they were going to take him to jail, and he said, "Hey, I told you guys I'm feeling pretty weak. I need to go to the hospital." So, they have to take you to the hospital. So they took him to the hospital. Um, when he got to the hospital, they start asking him the same questions. Would he blow into this tube? He said no. Was he willing to do a field sobriety check? He showed them that he had an ankle injury and he had a boot on his ankle. So so after harassing him in the, at the hospital, they were waiting for a nurse to come take his blood pressure. Well, to check his blood. So they checked his blood. They saw it was low. They told the cops it was low. So they still weren't satisfied with that. So they start harassing him again about doing the same thing, about blowing into their little, I forget what that's called, breathalyzer. Um, so he refused. They said that they were waiting on their um, person to come check his blood. They have a phlebotomist, I guess, to come check his blood. The phlebotomist came. Well, before the phlebotomist came, the nurse that had checked him raised up his shirt and she was looking at his stomach. And he said, that's pretty good for a 54-year-old, huh? And she said, yeah, you're hot. And he said when the nurse said that, it got quiet after that. The police didn't say anything. I guess they were probably jealous that they weren't hot. And here he is, 54 years old, and the nurse is telling him he doesn't look 54 and he's hot. Well, he's black, so he doesn't look 54. We don't look our age. We have this carbon and we have melanin, and it keeps our skin looking youthful. So, long story short, their phlebotomist came in, took his blood sugar, told them yes, his blood sugar is low. So he said they gave him back his effects, the things that they took from him, and they left. They never apologized. They never did anything. Long story short, he was told that a lawyer told him a long time ago, don't take a breathalyzer because it needs to be recalibrated every so often, every 6 months or whatever. And if somebody had a blood alcohol level before you and then you blow into it, it adds to that and you could go over. Other than and the field sobriety test is subjective, so it's up to the cop whether you fail or pass. So hope you enjoy this story. Old Man Joe, like and subscribe. Hit that notification button.